Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Ironsworn with Blinking Firefly and I. Hey, how you doing today? So, other than rather staring at the camera. Oh man, what is going on over there? We have an intense energy today. No, during the countdown, while everything was muted on your end, Blink and I were just doing guitar back and forth. In particular, the Me Plaza menu music, but among other things. But yeah, it's been a little while, but happy to get back into, you know, we can soon put behind all of this happiness and good feeling and get back in that like awful cave that's trying to kill us where everything goes wrong. Looking forward to it, I hope. I just realized I thought I unmuted you, but I didn't. Sorry, you're now unmuted. I clicked it, but like I misclicked a little bit. There we go. Now you can hear Blink.
Hi. So I'll just recite the Declaration of Independence again, all the way over.
Oh man, you did it fast the first time, and like in a ventriloquist style, like almost hiding any of your lip movements. That was pretty good. Like some, it wasn't a full ventriloquist, but
mostly Nimbus.
Okay.
I was just helping.
Gotcha.
He was doing it from memory.
I mean, I don't know. He is staring off screen right now, so who knows if he's just like reading something. And you're gonna have to turn the camera around to show there's no Declaration of Independence there.
Okay, that is not.
I don't know. I can't see what's on that sheet. That looks pretty Declaration of Independence to me.
It's blank. It's just a paper to reflect the light.
It's just a piece of paper. Oh, and that piece of paper happens to have the Declaration of Independence written on it. And shining the light through it is a way to find out the hidden map to the treasure. Hey, what's up, Morphatrix?
Jester's Court.
I misread what you said at first as hello, sir or ma'am. I was like, I feel like you've got a sense at this point. But yeah, hello, sir and ma'am. Hello, Morphatrix.
Hello, Morphatrix.
Anyway, so if you've never been here for an Ironsworn stream before, just a quick recap of where we last left off. Basically, our two characters, Flint and Gray, we're on the run from a pursuing group of these cultists, and we wound up taking refuge in this cave that collapsed behind us. And we've learned that this cave is like alive, and like it feasts on people inside. Like animals didn't even want to go in. It's this awful death trap that we're trying to get. We know there's another way out of it. We've determined that much, and so we're like spelunking this cave to try and get through to the other side. Now, it's been going terribly. Really terribly. Between things that have gotten like Flint paralyzed and really beaten up. We've barely been making it through here. Things have a lot of injuries, but after a lot of bad dice rolls, we finally got to a place last time where like we were kind of recouping. We found a nice like safe-ish spot in that there wasn't anything immediately bad going on, and we found her horse Thornberry, who we'd kind of lost. We got everybody back together, and we found some supplies from, unfortunately, somebody who didn't make it through the cave. But considering we were out of anything, it was just this great moment of finally there's some kind of silver lining here. Now, I have no idea how that's going to continue, but at least we have some little beacon of hope that maybe there's a way out of this. I'm still worried. I honestly, every time we were in this cave, given how poorly certain things are going, I'm not 100% sure of survival. Like most sessions, we'll be like, yeah, we'll probably make it to the end.
I'm scared.
I don't know. And then, I guess, similarly, if you've never been here before, you should know that this game is Ironsworn. It's available at ironswornrpg.com for free. It is a game that you can play entirely with no GM or prep or anything. We haven't prepared anything that you're about to see. We're doing a co-op campaign where we're both kind of in narrative control. Like, neither one of us is the GM, but neither one of us has done any prep. We're just going to see where the dice lead us, and you'll see a little bit about how that works right now. So, we're in this ancient cavern still. We've made a little bit of progress here on our objective to find a safe exit. Now, one thing I recommend, since we did finally find some supplies, and our stats, like we've got a lot of meters that are really low right now, like our spirit is really low, our health is really low. We finally have a little bit of supply, which will allow us to try and make camp. I believe is the one we were barred from. Let me check that real quick. I know there's make camp and there's resupply. Oh no, you know what? I think it's resupply is the one we might want to do where like we weren't able to do it unless we had some supplies, and we finally have that little bit here, which might allow us to have just enough to like I don't know. Maybe we took a rest here and we were looking around like, hey, if somebody left some supplies here, maybe there's some others nearby if we keep our eyes out. Like, and then if we can get that supply up high enough, that's going to open up other opportunities like actually being able to make camp well and rest and eat something and heal ourselves.
Desperately need it.
Yeah. Oh, and the one final thing about how we left off that's a little bit less fortunate, the non-silver lining. One of the last things that happened last time that I don't want to forget about was Flint having a terrible, terrible critical fail on how well he endured some stress. And we determined that the way that was playing out was like, he's had a bit of a fracture in personality here that it's not going to always come out. I thought of it as like he has a sort of inner Mr. Hyde that can come out at moments where like he's just really unpleasant to be around. And what's especially unpleasant about it is you don't know when it's coming. Like I think weird things are going to trigger it. And I think that's part of the way that we'll be able to make that work is sometimes the dice are going to do weird things. And that's something we can look towards. Is like, oh, maybe it's because of his it's all too much and the Mr. Hyde part is coming out. I mention it now just because I don't want to forget it myself. Not because it's especially relevant right now. I think that having found some amount of supplies and a place to rest, we've got like, he's calmed down a little bit. He's still probably not saying a lot, but he's at least not like, oh, thank you. Not doing any of the weird, like, gruff yelling under his breath to himself and, like, constantly saying things that just would make anybody uncomfortable to be around. Like, oh my god, like, this guy. So yeah, let me just, really quick, I just want to check that I'm remembering correctly and resupply is something we can do. I'm pretty certain, but I have a moment here. I should even be near-ish that page. Alright, going through the moves. Where is it? Resupply. Oh, that's right, okay, yes. If you have the unprepared condition marked, you can't resupply, but we no longer do. We were able to just, through the dice, find some supplies out in the field and push it up by one. They had that opportunity. So yeah, I recommend that just before we get into any of the nitty-gritty of continuing to go through this cave, we just do a couple of quick rolls of just take this moment to try and find some more supplies to boost that up even higher and then make some camp. I know we tried earlier and neither of us could get to sleep, but maybe if we find enough, we can get the silver lining to like actually eat and drink something, and then that'll fictionally give us a reason to be able to try again. So let's get started with that. Our first roll of the day. So resupply, that is one that requires wits, which you are way better at than I am. So I would certainly recommend maybe you take the lead on this. I can try and help you, but
Please, yes. I need all the help I can get in this cave.
Seriously. So I'm gonna, let's see, how would I aid you in this case? How would I help you figure it out? I'm thinking maybe I'm actually gonna use my iron on this because I think maybe there's like areas that there's like rocks in the way or something that are like really heavy things that are just keeping you from being able to search certain areas. It's like have an inkling maybe people hid some stuff back here, and I'm helping you by just physically moving things so you can look in places better.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try and aid an ally, secure an advantage by just using some iron. All right. Let's pull up the moves. Secure an advantage with iron. All right, game. Come on. Have some mercy. Okay, it's a weak hit, which is fine. That's what most of them are. It means the advantage is short-lived, but it's I think it's take +1 momentum. Let me check that. Yes, okay. Take +1 momentum. And because I was aiding you, that means you're the one who gets this benefit. So I'm going to give you... Oh, that's good, because you're the one who actually has a reasonable momentum. Like, you might actually be able to get some use out of this. So your momentum ring goes up by 1. Let me do that in Roll20 as well. And then, yeah, I can try and resupply and actually have decent odds of this going well.
Sweet.
Especially with your wits. You're, where's the, there we go, set that higher.
I have smart brain.
You do have smart brain. Your smart brain is all the way at 3 smart brains, which is the highest it can start with. You just happen to be even more smart heart than, or heart brain, I'm not sure which one, than smart brain. But both are really good and definitely leaning into what you do well.
Yeah.
So let's see how it goes. Yep, using your wits. Okay, and there we are. Strong hit. No need to use momentum or anything, which is good. On a strong hit, we're going to get to take +2 supply. So now, clearly we were able to find something. Perhaps it was indeed just like, we found a little bit out front, but the real stash was they had like hidden behind, like in a crevice or something, and with the help of moving a rock out of the way, we're like, oh no, here we go. Here's the actual pack with all the, like, they had like climbing gear and rations and like enough stuff that we can justify, like, we're kind of set up for this cave. And that...
Quote time.
Seriously, there we had our silver lining. That's like a golden lining right there to be like, we actually have some supply now. We don't have to feel like we're just starving and gonna die in this place. We might be able to get through it. So, yeah, I think that's definitely enough to convince even grumbly, like even in his worst mood kind of Flint, that like we can take a break to actually enjoy this food. Like we've been starving, so like, why don't we do that and like make camp, and then hopefully we'll push our rings that little bit higher. We'll be able to actually get out of here in one piece. So, let's see. Make camp is... Right, that's when we roll our supply. It doesn't really matter who rolls it because we share supply. I'm just going to have you roll it because I'm just already on your character, but really it's just we are making camp. Also, I guess theoretically you have the high momentum to make it better if this goes poorly. Okay. A weak hit and one that momentum wouldn't help us with anyway, so let's see what happens there. Alright, we're each going to get to choose one of these options. On a strong hit, we could have chosen 2, but it's fine. We'll basically each be able to help one of our weak things. So you could either... Oh, actually, yeah, a couple of them work well. So there's Recuperate, which would give both of us +1 health. And we're both a little low right now. I've got 2, you've got 1. So taking that would give us both +1. There's a worse version of that, which is, like, if we had 2 options, like, there's no reason to take it unless you're taking 2 options, so I'm just going to skip it. You could just take +1 spirit for yourself by relaxing. For reference, your spirit is currently at 0, so, like, pretty stressed out right now, so you could take that moment to relax. You could focus to get +1 momentum, and your momentum is decently high right now, so I don't know if that's the best choice, but it is certainly one you can make. Or we can prepare, which is when you break camp, add +1 if you undertake a journey. Now, we're not literally undertaking a journey, but I think that it would be in the spirit to also have that +1 for, like, our next, like, spelunking through the mines roll, so, like, or not mines, caves. Certainly within that same spirit, so... Yeah, you could give us both some health. You could just relax yourself. You could take momentum, or just be better next time we're about to get to our next milestone in this cave. Now, I'm considering... I'd be willing to take the one that gives us both health, if that influences your decision at all. Because I have at least the 1 spirit.
Okay. I was gonna say either spirit or the health.
I mean, we could both take, if we're willing to just be on edge and stay frazzled, we could both take the health one and just be much more healed. But if you want, it is totally understandable if you don't want to be that, like, redlining your mental capacities and your emotional state. But yeah, I'm gonna take the healing one just to help us just recuperate. We'll kind of look after each other. Maybe Flint's feeling a little bit bad about like having been so bristly, and he knows it. He's in the part that's now feeling guilty about the stuff he was doing before, and so he's just like, here, let me. He's like dabbing something with like a cloth, and he's like, let me.
He's dabbing.
He's dabbing. Takes like a cloth and just like a little bit of water. Doesn't want to use too much because we're happy to just have supplies, and is like kind of cleaning off a wound or something on you, like tending to each other, trying to make a gesture. I know you're the healer, but like just trying to rebridge a gap.
Okay.
Um, so which one do you think you'll take then?
I will take spirit.
Okay, sounds good. Let me move these up accordingly. Boom.
I need it.
You do. And you need the health too. You were down
Especially
to...
after Flint was being a poopy.
And is probably going to continue being a poopy. You need that a little resilience to be like, oh my god, we'll get out of here eventually. But this fucking guy.
This guy.
This guy, yeah. All right, let me set your...
Thornberry's thinking it too. He's like,
yeah. Just like gives you a side eye, which I guess is the only kind of eye a horse can give you because their eyes are like all the way over here. But
like a side eye and an ear flick, like
yeah, just... exactly.
You know what that ear flick means.
I do. Okay, so we have that moment. We rest a little bit. Maybe it's the fact that I'm trying to bridge the gap that helps you relax that little bit more. Because I don't see this as us like full on making camp and like taking a nap and everything. We talked about how we're too uncomfortable to really do that. But
yeah,
or at least taking that break, eating something, drinking something, and like tending to our most immediate needs before moving on.
Yeah, not completely relaxed because those crab things could come back at any time.
Oh yeah, and your spirit is still only +1, and mine is. Both of ours are still only +1. We're still pretty frazzled.
Yeah.
But we got that little bit of a buffer. But with that done, and like dusting off the crumbs or whatever of whatever we were eating, and wiping away and taking a deep breath.
Cave muffins.
Cave muffins.
I don't know, what were we eating?
Like I had envisioned it as somebody's like secret stash when they had made camp here. Like it was their pack, and they just didn't survive to ever be able to grab it. But I guess it could also be like some amount of naturally growing things. Like if we want to lean a little bit into your herbalism, that you like found some mushrooms or something natural that we were actually able to eat.
Yeah.
Whichever way.
I know the guidelines for safe mushroom, or the requirements.
Yeah. So maybe some combination of that. Like we found a couple of things nearby. Maybe it was the presence of those mushrooms that's why they chose to be there and hid their stuff in this spot. So like, yeah. So yeah, like
Sense.
I helped you get to a hidden pack. You helped us find something safe to eat, and all kinds of stuff. So let's finally see if we can get out of here with get our next milestone on finding a safe exit from Hollow's Breath. So
Yes.
we are using the Delve supplement. This part is not free, but has some really cool rules for doing things like dungeon delving or spelunking caves or whatever. And yeah, I think you'll get the sense of how it works pretty fast here. A core move that we're going to be making right now is called Delve the Depths. And as usual, I recommend Gray be our guide in the front because you're probably going to be the best with this, with most of these rules. Now, the standard question, there's 3 tactics you can take here. We can try and just prioritize speed and just get the fuck out of here, in which case we'd be using Edge. We can try and prioritize just staying hidden, which is using Shadow, if we're just like really carefully sticking to the shadows and using tricks to make sure we're not noticed. Or can just like take our time, use observation, intuition, and expertise, which is a wits thing, just kind of like really slowly and methodically. Like, you got a torch out, you're more likely to see things, but also more likely for, like, dangers to find you, sort of thing. Sort of. They all just have different tables, but they use different things. So how do you see this moving? Is it the, like, methodical? Is it the speed? Or is it the, it's trying to stay hidden?
I just see us continuing to take as be as cautious as possible.
Okay, it sounds like the wits thing then, which is how we've gone so far. And you know, from this side of the screen, as the player and not the character, we're way more likely to do well with it. Just your wits are better than either of those other stats. Okay, so let's delve the depths with your wits. And thankfully, you got some nice high momentum in case this goes wrong. Let's see. Hopefully, it just won't. However, there's our first miss. Let me update your learn from failure track. Unfortunately, that's also high enough that we can't do anything about it. The momentum won't help. Look, this place is dangerous. It does not want people around here, I guess. No matter how cautious you are, there's always something unforeseen. All right, giving you that learn from failure tick. There we go. So, yeah, let's see. What happens on a miss?
Is there ever a delve that just goes perfectly blissfully?
We had some. We had a couple of delves.
Did you?
Well, I mean, we've made a couple of progress anyway. You mean like going through the entire site on its own? Probably not perfectly blissfully. We didn't exactly come in with the best situation, which is part of it. And then the other part is this is a formidable place. Like it takes longer to get through here, which is the other part. So anyway, on a miss, we need to reveal a danger. And that is its own move.
Reveal a danger?
That's a move that I roll. It's the name of something. So here's an oracle, and I'm gonna roll it, and let's see what kind of thing we face. 1, check the theme card. Okay, so as you see, these cards, the domain and theme, tell us a little bit about the types of things we're gonna find here. So because we rolled a 1, it is in that first category of ancient, and we uncover an ancient trap. Yeah. So we need to figure out what that looks like what kind of trap, because I guess we're gonna use some oracles here to get an idea, because most of this place we've determined is like really, really like it's very natural kind of cave stuff. Like the cave is shifting and malicious, but there's not a lot of like
the whole thing is an ancient trap. Like
it is.
It's just full.
But I want something that stands out in a way that really feels like a particular oh, that was a trap.
Maybe something that was set up by the people who used to live there.
That's my question for the oracle is was this something set up by people that were passing through or inhabitants or something? Like who knows? Maybe a long, long time ago, before this cave fully awoke, there might have been other types of cultures that lived here that may have had a kind of trap. Because this is an ancient trap. So we're gonna ask the oracle, and I'm gonna put this as 50-50. So was this set up by some ancient culture that lived here? Yes. Okay.
Huh.
So yeah, long time ago there must have been something. Now we need to figure out. So what were they trying to trap against? And if they lived here, I imagine the cave wasn't alive yet. So maybe something happened later that really woke up this cave and turned it fully evil. But back then it was just a regular cave. Maybe something that happened in this place changed that.
I thought it said it was always alive. It just goes through slumber periods. And
oh, that's fair. Yeah. Perhaps it was just slumbering at this time, and could have been slumbering for hundreds of years or 1,000 years or whatever.
No.
But this was a dormant period for the cave, long enough for people to actually feel safe and build something inside. So, I guess the question is, what was this trap built to ward against? Was it against other people, or was it against other monster type things? What were they trying to trap against? Because that'll help us figure out what kind of trap it would be. So I'll ask the oracle that was this trap set up to ward off other humanoid, not necessarily humans, but that type of person, a human entity, some other person with
the crab things.
Well, that's the thing. It could be something like that, depending on how long they've been here.
Just a giant crab pot.
All right. So yeah, what was it set up to ward off other people? What do you think? Is that another just like 50-50, or do you think that's likely, unlikely?
Sure.
All right.
That's a 50-50.
All right, 50-50. Ward off other people? Yes. So there was some other group that was not supposed to be in this cave, and they wanted to take preventative measures against that, which implies that there may be spots like deep in this place where there's like I see if like there's probably a room where or a section of the cave where like the leader used to sit in kind of like a throne room type way, and maybe they have ancient artifacts around here if you know the right place to look that just got like buried by the cave over the years. Okay, so then there must be some part of this place that was really important to them. I mean, it could have just been like where they raised their. Like I'm imagining this almost like an ant hive, and like obviously they'd have a lot of protections against like where they raise their young or something. As one option of what they were trapping against. I guess
it's like a trap involving the stalactites.
Something rigged to collapse or something.
Yeah.
That could, yeah, and that sounds reasonable enough to be something that might have lasted through the years and still be dangerous. Like if there was an area that they figured people would try and go through where like things were just purposely weakened and nobody ever set that one off, or things shifted around and then we finally were the ones to go through. So yeah. It could be just like classic video game logic type of thing where like, and then we walk through the thing and then as soon as we go under, the stalactite just falls from the ceiling.
Very Indiana Jones, and maybe they have it like kind of a labyrinth where certain tunnels are safe, certain tunnels are not safe.
Yeah, exactly. And given the way this cave shifts, sometimes we may not, like, a lot of that stuff may just be buried underneath the ground, but some of it happened to shift up and still exists, and we've encountered a tunnel that still has one of those. So yeah, let's just go simple like that. Ancient trap. There's some people here that once, like, just very meticulously filed away a lot of stalactite to just make it weak, and, like, maybe even had some rudimentary sort of just, there's like a little tripwire along the floor that, as soon as we accidentally step into it, it removes something that was holding something steady, and then it falls. And we have a chance to try and not get hit by it, though. This sounds very much like just a quickness sort of edge move. Just dodge out of the way in time, which is a shame, because I know you're not great at that. I don't think I am either. I don't think either of us are really edgy in that sense. Both of our edges are 1. So yeah, let's dive out of the way. This is a just classic face danger. Do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first? Not that it really doesn't really matter.
I'm just diving.
All right, and Gray goes. Face danger. You at least have momentum on your side. I've still got negative momentum. You might get saved.
And that makes sense then. But
yeah,
there you go.
That's true. All right, you got a weak hit. The momentum wouldn't help you anyway, but weak hit is going to be where just one of your things goes down, either health, spirit, supply, or momentum. Think about that while I make my move.
Do like a dive and a roll.
Yeah. And then
ninja style.
I get a full. God, these challenge dice are rolling high today. Not that they needed to. I'm bad at edge, but yeah, I full on miss. So I'm going to. My progress is undermined by a dramatic and costly turn of events. Pay the price, or I fail. No. So clearly, I don't get out of the way in time for the trap. Like, glad we healed up a little bit, because what would make most sense is the stalactite indeed just hits, I don't know, my leg or something.
No. Stop it.
I know.
Getting hurt.
I know. I don't want to, but unless we can think of something else that would be a nice, dramatic, and costly turn of events. But that's certainly the outcome that seems to make the most sense. Is just, yeah, they rigged the trap to fall on you. It fell on me.
It took your clothes away.
Yeah.
It just ripped your clothes up, and you're naked again.
That definitely sounds worthy of a miss.
You're like, well, here I am again. Naked.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Maybe that could be part of the other thing is like I've got this huge elf body, which is it's just so bulky and hard to get all of it out of the way. Like I'm used to being smaller, and so it's just like there I made it. No, I didn't. I'll just like right into the calf or something. That's still sticking there.
Sense.
I also imagine as a way to because like I could just take the 1 health, but then that's basically the same as taking a weak hit. So I think the and to make it fully a miss is I'm pretty sure getting hit by a stalactite in the leg is enough to make Mr. Bad Attitude come back out. So I think moving ahead, he's going to be a little hard to deal with and not very agreeable and just a pain in the ass, at least for a little bit. So yeah,
so instead of getting hurt, he just is more.
I don't know if that's really enough to feel like a miss. All right, let's.
You would still have to shift one of your.
I do.
Like.
I mean, I could do that, or I could just take two to my health, which would suck, but. Yeah, I'm just gonna do the 1 and Bad Attitude for now, just to get a chance to kind of see a little bit more of like what is that even like.
Is that spirit? Is your spirit?
No, I'm not taking a hit to that. I'm just recognizing that in character that's going to start coming out. It's going to influence a little bit of what I will or won't do, and a little bit of that.
Okay.
Real quick, let me just endure that harm. As it just.
So with a miss, does it have to be? Can it be affecting any one of those stats, or does it have to be specific?
I mean, miss could be whatever you interpret it to be, but in terms of like paying the price, oftentimes you just go with what is the most obvious thing, which is we were trying to dive out of the way of a trap that's falling, a falling stalactite. The most obvious thing would be it falls on you, which would cause some harm. You can come up with basically anything that. Or pay the price. Like, what is the dramatic, costly turn of events that happens? But a lot of the time, it's just beneficial to just go with the most obvious, not make everything too complicated. But yeah, let me endure that harm, because who knows? Maybe I'll just get it right back. There's a chance. If I roll with my health. Or wait, sorry. How's my iron? Oh, sorry. Same as my health. Nope. I got a miss on enduring the harm, too. Hooray! So, on a miss, also suffer -1 momentum, which is all that will happen because I'm not at 0 health. So, my momentum goes down. It just fuck! Which, makes some sense as, like, if it indeed hit my calf, I'm probably now, like, moving a little bit more slowly. Like, we're literally just not going to be making the same kind of progress. And gels pretty well with the idea of Flint now constantly grumbling and is going to probably be snapping at most anything, any conversation directed towards him.
I'm going to be snapping at Flint, too.
You should.
Flint?
Well, you know what? I'm pretty sure you were supposed to be finding the way. Pretty sure you were supposed to be finding the way that didn't have falling goddamn bullshit in our way. What are you even looking out for? You have eyes. Yours actually work. Come on now.
Gifted sight. So yours work better.
You want me to be leading? Is that what you're saying? You think the blind should be leading us?
My guest.
Fine. And he will. He'll take that opportunity. Like he'll just like push you like a little too hard out of the way, like towards the like not enough to hurt you or anything, but just like very roughly.
No, that hurt. Ow.
Yeah. Out of the way. I can't see if you're right there.
I'm sore right now. Anything's gonna hurt.
That's true. And then yeah, Flint will try and delve us through the depths. And I think in that bad mood, he's probably indeed just using it like just going quickly and not paying attention to anything. Like he's just too emotional. It's just like just stomping through this with edge.
It's like, Flint, slow down. We said we were going to be cautious.
It's there's practically a bark back at you.
Bit of drool goes.
Yeah, exactly. He's anyway. Now we all know this is going to go terribly.
I get a little bit cozier with Thornberry, just like kind of.
Yeah, like let's something.
Thornberry.
This is not going to go.
Thornberry.
No, let me move my health down. That's why I pulled this up. There we go.
Come along, Thornberry.
Come along, Cedric. All right, rolling with my edge. Oh man, if this actually does go well, then Flint is going to be so shitty about it. Just be like, see? That's how it's done. Don't worry though, the odds are not good. Especially with his momentum so low. He did get a weak hit though, which is technically better. Okay, so on a weak hit, roll on the following table according to my stat. So I need to roll a D100, and because we're using edge, a certain thing will happen. Now this could be good for us. We still might like find another opportunity or something like truly good. Let's find out. 69. Okay, so we have a choice here. We can either make more progress or we can find an opportunity. Now, obviously, we're never going to get out of here if we don't make progress, but we're still hurting so badly on various of our stats. I'm kind of leaning towards like finding an opportunity would be. I think we need opportunities to help us just like get good enough to be able to get out of here. I think. Plus, we do have the whole. Oh, sorry. What were you saying?
I still want to try and be able to communicate with the cave.
Which an opportunity might help us do that sort of thing. Maybe we could like. Especially since the type of opportunity Flint would be able to find would probably indeed be something more mystical with, like, just really tuning into his second sight to find things that are standing out. And he's, like, you know, stomps ahead of you, like, a little too much, but eventually is like, slowly calming down vaguely, only just enough to, like, at least be paying attention to his environment. Like, he's still in a bad mood, but he then sees a thing, and he's like, what the fuck is that? And... let's see, what kind of opportunity can we find here that could indeed be like at least a hint towards communicating with this cave? That would be really cool. Like maybe it has to do with these ancient people that like since we're clearly in an area where like they were nearby, maybe we find another place where indeed like they were protecting something particular here. And like what if they actually even knew that this cave like they had I'm imagining kind of like, you know, how like their maybe they had kind of like a calendar that projected forward years and years and years and years and years, and like they were aware, they had studied this cave and knew like it will awaken. Yeah, like they were aware of the cycles and they knew that I imagine these people actually like kind of worshiping the cave.
That's what I imagine.
Yeah, and like they knew that their time was limited, but were like, like that was going to be a major holiday, and like when the cave finally awakens, they were going to be presenting it with like all sorts of like, just like sacrifice of goods and like just anything they can do. So maybe we find, yeah, I imagine there's this room, and it's just like filled with what just carved into the walls, just all over, and it's like this dome. And there's like various glyphs and like drawings that commemorate certain events on there. And it's this dome, and it's indeed a cycle where like it shows like kind of the whole cycle of when the cave is awake, and like the people are all like sacrificed to it, and then like going around to like appeasing it back to its sleep, and the people that flourish and then spend that time to raise back up and teach everybody, continue the culture of the worship and the ways of the cave and appeasing it. And then it comes all the way back around to the eventual, like, bringing about the awakening of the cave and then the sacrifice. It's like around the skirting the bottom of the room. And
yeah, I like the idea of, like, maybe every 10 years its heart beats just
Yeah,
once.
and like something happens.
And something happens in the cave. Maybe
What
there's
if
like, what if like the crystals and stuff kind of like light up with that
right,
and
yeah.
so
And
when all like, oh yeah, they love that, and so they think it's some
so
kind of spirit.
here's putting this all together in a way that might truly be like an opportunity for us. So like we have these pictures and we're like kind of sussing it out and figuring out what all this means. And indeed, there's something that indicates the point in the cycle where like the heartbeat, and this cool thing, the light up that shows kind of. I'm imagining Avatar with the whole like the crystals guiding the way out. There could be kind of like a cave like circulatory system of crystals that just like it goes in all these places that could lead to an exit that can light up when the heart beats, and perhaps there's an indication of like where in this cavern the heart lies, and with an implication that if we could get there we could like artificially make the heart beat to get ourselves out of here. Yeah, like it's not like it's like according to the calendar, it's not going to beat for years. Like it's not going to happen naturally. But if we follow the guidance of this room to where the heart is, we could like basically squeeze it into a beat, which would pulse all this energy out to all the crystals, and we could use that to get out of here.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's our opportunity. Is we learn all about their. Like it's
what
just,
if the heartbeats are getting closer together though? Like maybe it's happening every 5 years now, or maybe it's about to happen again because it is awakening. So.
It is, but I imagine since it's somewhat awake, like it could be that they're like it has a little bit more control over that, and obviously if that's a thing that would help people, and it's trying to eat us, like it wouldn't want to do that while we're here. So maybe like
you never know.
Yeah. Point being, we have an idea of where we could get to the heart to try and force a beat to happen, which could get us out of here or make a very clear way to get out of here. And we got a bit more of an understanding of what types of people lived here. Now we still don't know why they're no longer here. If there's indeed this ongoing cycle that they know about, and like they would be prepared for this eventual wake up to then survive it and be members here again. Like something happened, we don't know. Maybe there'll be other hints of that in continued parts of Hollow's Breath, but
yeah. So maybe we discern from the calendars that the heart isn't due to beat for still a while.
I think since it's indeed like on the order of years between beats, like if nothing else, like the odds are against us. I guess we could roll in the Oracle.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it's here for. If we have questions like that, like is the heart beat to do? And granted, soon could even still be like, yeah, next month. Like that would.
I don't want to say anything else.
Like but we can roll some oracles to find, and they can get increasingly unlikely. Okay. So let's see. When is, according to the calendar, when is it next due to beat? So I'm going to start off with, like, is it due to beat this year? Which we can do is, like, sure, like, likely. Because, as you mentioned, it's waking up and everything. Actually, why don't we... we'll start with... Yeah, we'll start with likely, and every time we get closer and closer, I'm going to move down the category. So, is it due to beat sometime this year? Yes. Okay. So moving down to 50-50. Is it due to beat sometime in the next, like, what, 3 months, maybe? We can say that?
Sure.
No. Okay. So it's later this year.
All right. Well.
So nothing that we could certainly wait for, but...
This giant has a surprise coming to it.
It does. Like, there's something in this room that gives us the reason to believe that we could make it happen. Maybe there's a depiction of what the heart, what its like physical form is. I'm wondering, like, what is it that makes us think, like, we'd probably have an idea of like what it would take to kickstart this heart, and it wouldn't just be a Motley Crue song, though we could certainly try that.
Can we ask the Oracle if there's a map of the heart in this?
Well, I think the opportunity, like. The fact that we found an opportunity, I think, is enough to say that we have that. I'm just more curious, like, what is it? Like I don't think we
I
even
think
need to roll for that
the
bit.
mother lode of crystals.
What's that?
Or I don't know.
Oh,
What is the heart? Like I was thinking it was like the mother lode of crystals, just like a very huge concentrated.
yeah. Well, that's fine, but then also like what do we think it takes to restart it that we found a way to be aware of? Like we can certainly do the simple, which is like it could be like maybe like I'm imagining, the reflexes that people have, the body has to try and save it from danger. And there might be a way that like if the heart were in danger somehow, we'd have to figure out what that means, or at least convinced it was in danger, it would start beating to try and bring to life other parts of the cave and like save itself. Now, what would endanger a cave? We could certainly do like it doesn't feel very cave specific, but we could certainly just light a big fire underneath it, and maybe that would be enough to kind of trigger it into action. Is at least the first idea I came up with. I think we might be able to do better, but maybe building a bonfire beneath it.
Could always stab the heart.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we could go classic with it and just find the heart and stab into it. Granted, that feels really fitting for like if we were trying to just like kill the cave.
Yeah, and we don't know if it's good or bad or.
Yeah, and I think it's beyond that. Like it's just this primal thing that is just, it's a force of nature, but it's just trying to survive. Yeah, maybe there's.
I could always use my magic.
Oh, that's
if I can.
That's
get
true.
Hold of it. If I can actually touch it somehow.
That's true.
Maybe I can trigger it.
We could lean. Yeah, maybe there's nothing in the drawings that suggests doing it, but looking at it, you're thinking about. Yeah, I like that. Where Gray is just like
taboo to touch the heart or even go near it, but they know. Where it is.
Maybe they have written something about the like precautions they have about not touching the heart due to the like the ways that it like to keep it safe and like that it gotta have to protect it and then by reading that we're like, well, wait a minute, if we were to touch this heart, we might be able to indeed manipulate this in a way to trigger this thing that shows up in the cycle. So yeah, I like all of that.
Yeah.
Flint, however, is like looking along and kind of like feeling the various carvings and stuff and getting a sense of it all, and it's just like, stupid fucking savages worship a deadly place like this. I can't fucking believe it. You ready to go?
I'm ready.
Good. See? This is what happens.
You see what happens, Larry? I'll just... Come on, Thornberry. You can keep me company while Flint pouts.
Yeah, he's gonna continue to just like quickly move ahead because in his mind he just had that validation of like it works. Just don't overthink it. So he's gonna keep trying to just go forward with just speed, and it is sure to fall apart soon. But until then, So we have the location of this heart. So like we have an idea of where to look for it anyway, which I imagine is certainly, go down deep. Is going to be part of it. I think so given Flint being a kind of a shit right now, was the idea of this plan of being able to kickstart the heart, is that something you think you would have mentioned to him, or is this like, I'm not talking to him right now? I'm trying to think of whether or not we're kind of directly heading towards it, or trying to.
I don't say anything to him because I feel like he'll just.
You're probably right.
Just make fun of me or something. I don't know. So, yeah.
You're probably right.
Put me down for even coming up with that idea, so I keep it to myself.
Then yeah, as far as he's concerned, just trying to get out towards. Staying on the surface, not direct, especially heading towards the depths, trying to get to the heart. Just wants to escape the goddamn cave on his own terms. So here we go with some more. Oop, this is your edge. I guess it doesn't really matter. We have the same edge, or it'll account for momentum wrong though. One moment. Delve the Depths. Roll with edge. Oh, son of a bitch. Now, in fairness, no matter what we had been rolling with, this would have been just as terrible. There would be no... We got another double 10 complication. My immediate thought on this is perhaps somehow... Like, what if the cave somehow knew... Like, you had discovered kind of a weakness there. Like, you know the location of the heart. And that is a bad thing. And it wants to, like... Let's see. What would it do in response?
I don't think it would know that we know.
Yeah, it's fair.
I don't...
I'm trying to think of something that's worthy of, like, something truly bad just happened.
Well, how bad? Like, how does it affect our stats? Bad?
Well, this is one of those. It's like most of the game. It's really up to interpretation. We had a critical failure, and based on the rules that I tend to go with, where like the higher the die, the worse it is as bad as it can possibly be. We had a double 10 complication.
Let me think.
Yeah. As for the roll, it's going to be we reveal a danger. Like I didn't delve the depths well, so we ran into something bad. I guess why don't I roll what the danger is, and then we can just turn it up to like 11 because it's a full-on complication.
Okay.
Unless it if it doesn't wind up making sense, then we can keep brainstorming. But that might be a quick way to think about it. Is just whatever this danger is, it is a super, super bad version of that danger. And hey, good news, you'll be able to rub it in Flint's face, because he did way worse than... The thing he ran us into is much worse. But that's probably not going to be the priority at the moment, because the danger is... 7 on the theme card. Hazardous architecture or terrain. But, like, really, really bad. Or, like, clearly full-on crumble. Like, I imagine... Like, maybe it was, we get to a part where there's, like a stone bridge across a wide chasm or something, like, on the realm of, like, I'm picturing, you know, where they wind up facing the Balrog in Lord of the Ring. Like, there's, you know, huge chasm to cross, there's, like, narrow passages and stuff, and we basically have that same sort of thing happening, where just, like, everything starts crumbling and falling over. It was clearly too ancient. And Flint was determined that it was safe, didn't give an opportunity to test it because he was going real fast with edge and everything. Gets out.
Maybe the whole time we were going along, we were seeing like bits of crumbling around us.
And just ignoring it. And
yeah, or
at the very least, Flint was.
I was a little worried about it because I think that was the after effect, of the last danger we faced.
Maybe there's even like it's kind of crumbling, but seems like it could be okay. And then as we get out towards like the middle of this rocky outcrop, or the like kind of bridge across, there's like a tremor in the earth. It just like starts quaking, and then just pushes it that rest of the way. Where it's like, oh no, it's the plates start shifting and everything. There's just these loud cracks of these pillars as they're clearly going to start falling over. And yeah. Now I think there's that moment, like if we fall, like this is over a huge pit, like long way to fall, and I think because of the double 10 we're probably pretty far from the edge. However, because we have some supply, we've got a move available to us. I mentioned it once before, how like sometimes we need to know, like, do we have certain specific things in our pack based on what we found from those adventures. There's a move called Check Your Gear. And I would love to find out if we happen to have, you know, conveniently set up good old, like, grappling hook with rope or something that we could just launch over to be able to hook onto something, anything, and just hold on to buy us some time. So I'm going to make a Check Your Gear move. All is it? Where is it?
You do
There we
that.
go. Check your gear. We're gonna roll supply, which is up to this.
He's being so demanding of attention right now. Just pacing all around me.
Okay. So let's see. Do we happen to have a convenient, like, just grappling type thing to be able to hook on to anything? No, because of my stupid fucking momentum. So Flint's like rummaging through the pack quickly and doesn't find anything. You don't have it, and the situation grows more perilous. Pay the price. So yeah, like obviously wasted some time. The clock has ticked down considerably for being able to get out of here, and I haven't moved at all. Gray, you would have had an opportunity to act in that moment, though. What is your choice? Is it like try and book it, or do you have a different idea in that moment?
I don't really know exactly what's happening in this moment. Is it just earthquake?
Well, while we're in the middle of like a bridge that's clearly going to collapse into a huge fucking chasm.
Oh,
While we're pretty far from the edge.
I have no idea. I don't know how to get out of a situation like that other than to try and run.
Well, we can certainly try and do that.
Yeah. I think as soon as I start feeling that tremor, I start pushing Thornberry. I can't push forward because you're ahead of me, so I start pushing Thornberry back.
Oh, to get back where we came from? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how wide the book is, but if it's wide enough, I just turn around and we just start booking it. Try to outrun it.
I imagine if need be, you could I think it's at least wide enough. Like you could potentially ride Thornberry out if you did like a quick on there. But either way, the point is you're backing up with Thornberry back the direction we came to try and just get to safety as quickly as possible. Cool. Well, it definitely sounds like an edge type move to me. Let me just check. I want to see if there's anything Thornberry has that would potentially help. No, he just helps you in combat, but that's it. Yeah, he's not a swift horse or anything like that. Okay, well, let's see. Yeah, Flint kind of freezes and is just looking around for something to help, but can't find anything. Gray is taking that opportunity to back up, and we'll see how that goes as you face danger with edge. Okay. Oh, god damn it. Yeah, it is a miss, and you were so close to having enough momentum to be able to turn that into a weak hit. But oh, that reminds me, we never did the weak hit that other time from the when we were escaping the falling stalactite. We never gave you the like what you were losing from.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have any thoughts on that?
I don't. What are my stats?
So you've got +2 health, +1 spirit, +3 supply, and +6 momentum.
Okay. I imagine it just let's take away some momentum.
Okay. All right. Bring that down. All right. So that's adjudicated.
Even more costs after that.
Yeah.
Even though Flint is moving pretty fast through everything, but yeah.
Yeah. However, now there's also just the fact that there was a miss on this roll, which we're gonna have to deal with. One sec. I'm just setting your momentum accordingly. Okay. Got that. So yeah, presumably, like you're not able to fully get off. Like in the same time that Flint is up there and rummaging and finding nothing, like you're trying to get off, but obviously haven't made it yet. I think that we have like one more shot each to get out of this before it's just. You know what I should have done? I should do this as a scene challenge because that's basically how I'm narrating it right now. So basically, we've got 1 tick on the clock of this being over, and we've got no progress on it. Sorry, 1 sec. Getting the scene challenge rules again. Yeah, we got like a crumbling thing. We don't know exactly when the time is going to run out. And it is... Sorry. Finding the thing. Scene challenge. There we are. Right, we set the... I think this one is it's a dangerous challenge, or potentially even... I think to be fair to the double 10 complication, it's going to be a formidable challenge.
Okay.
So we've got no progress on it, and 1 out of 4 missed boxes has already been filled in. Okay. So Flint sees you running that way and doesn't have anything, and is just going to try, like, recognize, like, he may be in a bad mood, but the, like, fear of death is kind of at least putting that aside for the moment, and just like, well, he knows that we need to stay together. So he, like, turns on his heels and starts just, like, booking it after the 2 of you, and will try and, like, encourage us both just to get on Thornberry. We don't have time. Like, we just need to try and gallop out of here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try and indeed, like, I run to where you are. Like, maybe the reason that failed was like Thornberry is scared and wasn't moving just yet, so it wasn't that far to go. Like, maybe something like that. So Flint is literally gonna run up and try and I'm trying to use stats that I could have some chance at. Use iron to just literally just lift you up onto the horse. Like, without trying to even, like, lose a moment, and, like, climb up right afterward, like, just very quickly, just muscle us onto Thornberry's back. So.
You're still grumpy, so you kind of throw me.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm grumpy, but have the, but just have the priorities of life saving, that there's no time to be emotive. All right.
You're just annoyed that I didn't think to jump on Thornberry.
Yeah, exactly. There's a part of that that's going to come out later. And the dice giveth. There are not only critical fails, there can be critical hits. We had an opportunity.
Apparently.
It can happen.
What is the opportunity?
Now, I think in this one, I just want to see if if scene challenges make a note of, like, specifically, like, on an opportunity, do this, like, because it could just be like, make double progress. At the very least, like, clearly, yes, we get on the back of Thornberry, and I think get him at the point where he's willing to go. Let's see. Get me the feeling you take turn make moves again. Okay.
I'm wondering if, like, a cavern opened up that we didn't see before.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, like, maybe there's a especially because you, yeah, the Earth shifted, and especially because you would at least have some reason to think about heading down deeper into the Earth. Yeah, maybe like something opened up a little bit below eyeline. That's like, maybe we can't get all the way across, but if we can make the jump into that, that's an easier target to go for, and would send us deeper into the Earth for heart finding purposes.
We're going backwards, right?
Yeah.
So I'm saying once we get back to the other side.
Oh, okay. That could, yeah, that could be cool.
Back in those tunnels, there's like really nearby. We just see this cavern that wasn't open and wasn't there before.
I like that.
We're like, where'd that come from?
Yeah, it just, in its attempt to kill us, it did also kind of open up things behind us. That's cool. So we'll make we make some progress. Yeah. We're at 1 and 1. And I'll even say, Be nice. We got a nice, relatively high critical hit here. Will give us double progress and that. So we have 2 progress boxes, 1 countdown box, and we have a new opportunity of like the tunnel that opened up that could lead elsewhere and not have to go across this bridge behind us. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I like to think that this was kind of a closed off. Like it used to be a tunnel that was open, but it was closed off by some kind of door with like hieroglyphs and markings and stuff, and it was just too dark for us to notice before.
Yeah, maybe perhaps when we get, hopefully we'll get there nice and safely and can inspect it when we get there and be like, find out more about that.
It was made by the ancient peoples.
Yeah. So we're up on Thornberry's back. Flint is probably a little bit too tightly just holding on to you and already like kicking at Thornberry himself, but you know, Thornberry's your horse, so if you would like to do some Thornberry direction to try and get us galloped across.
Shit. I will do it.
All right. I want us to survive this, so I'm going to make a suggestion here.
Me too.
So I think, and maybe this is a little cheesy, but not too much, I think that what this is really about, since we talked about how Thornberry was freaked out and didn't want to run, this is less about, the stat this is really about is your connection to Thornberry, your heart stat, your ability to calm Thornberry effectively and give that appropriate command to get Thornberry to just trust you and run across.
Okay.
I think that it's your heart.
Yeah, I like that.
Me too, because we have a good chance of success.
In all the chaos, to just kind of muster up that soothing voice that I know that Thornberry will listen to.
Yeah, we'll respond to.
It's just like, come on, Thornberry. I know this. I know you're scared, but you've been in worse situations. I know you can do it.
Yeah, we've gotten it exactly. There's that time you got Thornberry to like jump down off the ledge and trust you. And that was relatively recently.
Yeah.
It was several sessions ago, but it was today in game time.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, gonna roll your heart.
I just kind of stroke his mane.
Oh my god! Wow. We got a weak hit, but that's surprising given that you're like amazing heart, but sadly challenge dice were just really high. Or one of them was anyway. I'm pretty sure weak hit just means 1 and 1. So successful mark progress, but also encounter a minor complication or delay. Envision what happens and mark a countdown box to represent the setback. So we're at 3 progress and 2 out of 4 countdown boxes. Now, what happens? I imagine it would be the type, like, there's probably something right in front of us that just, like, indeed crumbled down, and now there's a gap that we literally have to, like, jump over as opposed to just run across.
Okay.
Makes sense to me, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, like, there's, like, we're like, starting to run, and Thornberry's going, but then, like, a part just collapses in front, and there's a quick, like, rear back of, and backing up, but and still just all shaking, we gotta jump across now. Which I think is probably similar, like, it's really Thornberry is making the rules here, but since there's no way to do that, it's all about, like, how do we frame it in terms of what we're doing, which, again, I think is really, it's your bond with Thornberry, like, encouraging him to do that sort of jump. As there's probably, like, stone, like, pieces of stone falling from the ceiling all around and, like, cracking behind, and maybe, like,
Just the cap and just be like,
just a lot of chaos. Yeah. Yeah. All I'm hearing right now is Montana. Oh.
That's our accompanying music.
Yeah. Who's that riding in?
It's Thornberry.
Thornberry. Thornberry. Nice. All right. So here's another opportunity for your encouragement to get Thornberry to leap this gap. Another weak hit. Okay, so it's gonna be the same thing. There'll be, like, I think we get across the gap, but then something, like, there's a lot of chaos in this situation. So now we're at 3 out of 4 countdown boxes and 4 progress. Now we still might be okay. Like, we don't have to fill the entire track. It's just the better we do before time runs out, the more likely this will go well. But something else happens. Okay, so we already had the gap clearing. Let's see if we can think of another complication. Maybe there's a the one I was thinking of was maybe like we land and then it does fall over, but like onto another ledge. But now there's like an amount of like having to like climb up. Like it's less like straight across now, and there's some verticality we have to traverse, which is obviously a little awkward with a horse. I'm wondering. So, okay, how would we do that? Also looking for opportunities to potentially do an aid an ally type of thing to set you up a little bit better on this, because I think, yeah, secure an advantage if I were to do that on your behalf is like a little bit safer, like unless I get a miss, in which case we're fucked. But if I can at least get something going. All right, so how would we get Thornberry up kind of a little bit of verticality quickly? And what would I do to help you in that is the question. Maybe
you get off and push him.
That's what I was wondering. Like, is it just that moment of adrenaline-fueled strength to literally try and help a horse, like help try and lift like half at a time, like get your fucking legs up.
Actually gets.
Oh yeah, there we go. That could work. Yeah.
You have to get off. And
yeah. Okay, I like that. It's
lodged him.
That makes more sense than just literally lifting Thornberry up.
Yeah.
I'm clearly not
falling, rolling around, and
I'm clearly not that strong. But yeah, like we fall down a little bit, and then his hoof is caught in something, and before we can go on, I'm gonna try him. Like, he might be able to pull it out, but he's freaked out, and so I'm worried that he might break his leg if I leave him to do, like...
Take the other end of your sword, kind of like bash it.
I don't have a sword.
Oh, you don't have your sword now?
I don't have a sword. I've never had a sword.
I thought you had a sword.
No.
How have you been fighting this whole time?
I brawl. I like grapple with things.
You need a sword. What the heck?
I'm blind. You're the sword master. But point being, yeah, I do a quick hop off to try and make sure Thornberry doesn't break his leg by just trying to move those rocks out of the way, and then get back on. So clearly I face danger with iron here. Just have the strength to get him unpinned so that we can just get out the rest of it.
Sounds good.
All right. And... Fuck. Oh, wait. I did it with your iron, which is why it's a miss. It should be a weak hit. I rolled on the wrong thing. Because my iron is 1 higher than yours, I think. No matter what, it's not going to beat the 10, but it will beat the 6. So yeah, that should actually be a weak hit, which will give us a short-lived advantage of gives you +1 momentum. So there you go. Gain that momentum right back. And now, yeah, I'm dive back onto Thornberry. I think this time, like with the speed, like I'm probably not even properly in this. I'm just like across like a saddle blanket, just like draped over and just like trying to hold on because there's no time to like get my legs back in the right positions. I'm just like, got it, dive, go, go, go. And I'm just holding on for dear life on Thornberry's ass. And then yeah, and then your heart and Thornberry and stuff, and maybe get out of here. Strong hit. There we go. Sweet. We're going to need a little bit of that. So we're successful. Mark progress per the rank of your challenge. And we're still not done yet, but we've at least got, well, we're up to 5 progress, I believe, and 3 countdowns. We're getting to the point where we might be okay, even if this challenge ends, like, next roll. Like, 5 is decent.
We haven't made it to this cavern yet?
What's that?
We haven't made it to this cavern yet?
No, like, this whole thing is a scene challenge. So it's kind of a bunch of roll. Like, we've at least got that. Okay. We've got Thornberry moving and going up, whatever slope to kind of get back on track to wherever we were. Okay. Is there something else that we would do besides just, like, encourage? Like, I imagine there's a bit of a limit to encouraging Thornberry. Like, he seems encouraged, what with that strong hit. Wonder if there's, like, what else could we do? how does this scene change where there's maybe something else to have to take care of before everything fully crumbles. Maybe
it's disturbed some kind of creatures.
Oh yeah, I was imagining like some roosting bats or type thing like coming down, and maybe we just need to like get them out of out of Thornberry's face and out of our faces.
Some weird looking bats again.
Yeah. Some kind of, like, it's so fast we don't even have a full opportunity to see it, but we're just, like, we've got, some roosting creatures were disturbed, and they're now, like, kind of flying through our face, and we're just, like, getting them the fuck out of the way. Let's see. I was about to suggest you do, like, use magic to, like, pulse a light or something, but you're currently out of that essence. But
it's okay if we can't see them.
Oh yeah, no, I meant more to like scare, like a big pulse to like drive them off. But
they very well could just.
I'm a grappler, and they're like I'm good at just swatting and punching and everything. I'll help you. I'll try and lean forward and it's just awkward because I'm lying across Thornberry right now, but kind of like right myself up. And just be swatting at him out of the face, encourage him away, and just yelling, using my bad mood to my advantage, and just frothing at them and looking like a menace. Like, leave us alone!
You bastards!
Yeah, probably a little bit less intelligibly than that. Just a lot of yelling and swatting.
Just incoherent, like Ralphie's father in A Christmas Story.
Yeah, or Joe Pesci in Home Alone. Yeah, that's what I've turned. That's my other side. There's Flint, and then there's Joe Pesci. That's the other part that comes out. Oop, I was about to roll your iron again. Let me not make that mistake twice.
How dare you?
Let's roll Flint's iron. Big iron on his hip. But a miss. Sadly, I'm guessing it was indeed too awkward to try and, like, reach them from, as I just described myself, like, kind of really draped over Thornberry. I couldn't really get to him. So what that means, though, is it means that this scene challenge is over. Like, we mark a countdown box. I wasn't able to get them out of the face. So we're fully filled up on countdown boxes. Now we resolve to find out how well did this go. Because that may have been enough. We may still get across fine. We had 5 progress. And we're going to see, was Thornberry able to be fast enough to escape the crumbling with all of that? So what we're going to do is we're going to roll against 5 progress. And see how good of a hit we have.
What does she do?
She is just full on rolling up against that couch. And sneezing.
Oh my god.
Let's see what we get. Hey, good news. Not only did we get a strong hit, we actually got another opportunity.
Sweet.
Yeah, we rolled 2 4s on that, and 5 is higher than both of those. So yeah, we actually, in this big scene of everything crumbling and it all being really shitty, actually succeeded, like, very gracefully. Like, got to the end. Perhaps indeed, like, I get, like, right over to that cavern door as, like, the rest just crumbles out behind us, and, like, we're at this site where, like, there's this old, decrepit, rusty iron door in front of us, and it's, like, the first time we've seen anything in here that's not just, like, natural stone, or water, and, like, clearly worked by these people. You know, everything behind us crumbled, but we have an elegant safety here, and let's see, what's a little, like, minor opportunity we can add in here? Something nice that we find, perhaps, or maybe just the opportunity is, like, hey, we just something minor, but hey, we survived that. Maybe our spirits go up a little bit just from the calm of, like, oh my god, yeah. We made it. Like, we actually were able to survive it. It inspires a little bit of hope.
I thought for sure that was the end back there.
Oh, and you know what? As part of that opportunity, maybe Grumpy Pants is out of the grump.
Yeah, maybe it passed.
Yeah.
He goes through these little episodes.
So I'm gonna give us 1 point of spirit each. And yeah. He just kind of like something you haven't heard in a little while of this spelunking. He like laughs a little bit. It's like, yeah, seriously. How much of that are we gonna be getting in this part? Oh.
Hopefully no more.
You had the right idea, Gray. I was out there looking for rope, as if there was enough rope to get across there anyway. By the way, we don't have rope. We don't have a grappling hook. I checked. But thank God you brought Thornberry down here. And he's like petting his mane a little bit and is like, "You're a good boy." So what the hell do you think this door is?
Well, I thought we were already in the chamber, like the door actually crumbled.
Oh,
it was
sure.
Like, and we
sure,
that's
yeah.
why we saw this opening. Well, I don't even know how we saw that because we can't really see much in this cave. I don't know how we were seeing.
There may have been something. Well, if it was indeed like iron, and maybe there's like something just glinting off of it, like just ever so slightly, and like you got your keen eyes picked up on it, like the little bit of light from your hands. Just you saw just like that, just a speck of it shimmer off of the iron, and reflected back just enough to pick it out.
Yeah, and I imagine I still am, using my hands to light up as much as I can.
Yeah.
If not concentrating on it, but it's still not enough to see everything.
Yeah. Flint is like,
okay.
Huh. He like gives a little bit of a kick at the door, just ever so slightly. Not like a hard kick at it, but just like kind of pushing at the rubble. And I was like, I definitely wouldn't have thought that there'd be anything so manufactured here. Wonder what's down here.
It's not. It was made of stone. It was.
Gotcha. I totally misheard what you were originally saying, then.
Really old, kind of like there was a slight indent in the cave walls where it's a cavern, but it was made of stone. I can't fully describe it, but it did have inscriptions and stuff on it.
I think I gotcha.
We see it. I imagine it did, or maybe we see parts of it crumble because it crumbled in all of that chaos.
Yeah,
and maybe we see bits of rubble that have the inscriptions on them and stuff.
Yeah,
but the cavern's open and we are in it. Like we've made it.
Yeah,
it's what I was talking about.
Gotcha. Well, Gray, I certainly think that we should go back to the way things were. Like gestures to like take a step back from you leading the way, and for what it's worth, sorry, this place is dangerous. It wasn't your fault.
It's all right, Flint. Let's put that behind us and try to look on the bright side of things a little more. I know it's hard.
Eventually there'll be a bright side.
There had better be. But let's move forward.
Let's. So yeah, Flint will allow you to lead the way here.
But yeah, sorry about that confusion earlier. That was the opportunity that I'm talking about.
Makes sense. I just didn't visualize it completely. Yeah. So let us delve these depths and hopefully get some progress on this. So at this point, since you're leading the way, are you indeed trying to lead us towards that heart? Or just trying to get out of here? I mean, it's a weird question because in a sense, like it affects the fiction, but that like in terms of our actually getting out of here, it doesn't really change anything. But it certainly changes our understanding of what's going on and where we might wind up.
I mean, yeah, I imagine it leading us to the heart.
Yeah.
Like I think it's kind of sloping. Maybe it's even stairs.
Yeah, just heading downwards. And so Flint might ask at some point along the way, like, wait, downwards. I'm not trying to question
Down
you.
again.
I'm not trying to question you, but well, I guess we also probably didn't have all that many options because everything else like crumbled around us. Just like, ooh,
Yeah.
guess we're heading deeper again.
Yeah, not the direction I want to go, but what choice do we have?
All right, where is it? Here we go. Delve the depths. I assume with wits again. Slow and methodical.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I like to think that this cavern is one of many caverns that all lead to the heart. They're one of
oh yeah,
like 10 main.
Yeah, I think of it like a circulatory system.
Yeah.
Like there are things. Yeah, there are veins and arteries of this cave in a sense that that will all eventually converge in different places to get to the heart. But yeah, I don't think it's the only way there. I think it is a way that will lead there. But that definitely to get there involves going deeper and deeper into the earth, like towards the very like bottom of the cave.
Hey. So maybe that was a good thing that it.
Yeah, well, exactly.
That it opened up. Maybe
the opportunity.
The cave creature didn't like that they covered it up. It's like maybe. This is supposed to be open.
Yeah, like it can't breathe fully. Well, we got another strong hit, which is good. We are going to get to where is it? We delve deeper. In this case, literally mark progress and find an opportunity because we got a full-on strong hit. So here's something we haven't done in so long. Delve progress. Up by 1! Oh my god, we've made some progress in this place as we head down deeper in the earth, and we find an opportunity. So this time, I'm not really sure what it is, but we can also just roll on the find an opportunity table. So let's see. So when you encounter a helpful situation or feature within the site, roll on the following table. If you're making this move as a result of a strong hit on Delve the Depths, you may pick or envision the opportunity instead of rolling. So we could decide something, but I don't have any ideas yet. So then we get to choose one. So we're going to roll on a table, and it's going to give us an idea of something we might find. Then we'll either get to take +1 momentum, or take action now. You and your allies may make a move, not a progress move, which directly leverages the opportunity. When you do, add +1 and take +1 momentum on a hit. So like either just we gain insight and our momentum goes up, or the opportunity will give us an idea of something specific to do about it that we'd be better at doing. And anyway, before we answer that question, let's see what happened. What did we find? An aspect of the history or nature of this place is revealed. Okay, well, we've been talking about, but yeah, potential to learn more about these people and maybe like why they're not here.
The nature of the place, it could just be this cavern looks significantly different from anywhere we've been as well.
It could be.
Maybe it's lined with something. Or...
Let's find out a little bit more. I want to roll on the features to find out like what kind of room do we find ourselves in. So I'm gonna roll a D100. We're gonna use it on the features to get a sense of like this opportunity. Where is this set?
Well, it's not a room, it's a tunnel, right? Like...
Well, that's the thing. By the time we find our next point of progress, we could be in a different type of place. So a 41, for instance, is indeed still just twisting passages. So yes, we're in twisty little passages. And in this spot, somewhere along these passages, it could be again, like a long series of carvings or paintings along the walls. Or it could be like something left behind. Let's see, what type of thing would we be learning here? Maybe this is maybe this is a scene that depicts like the kind of the end date. Like I'm imagining with learning the history of this place, it's like we found the book that's like we can't get out. we can't get out. Drums, like
The way is shut.
like somebody who is chronicling kind of the end times that we could learn about. I still imagine it through, like, obviously they depict these things with like carvings and drawings on the walls. Seemingly
I like
more
the
than
idea
right.
that this particular tunnel, because it's so special, because it leads to the heart, that it's actually lined with some kind of mineral or material or something that separates it from other.
Yeah.
Maybe not even carvings, like what's natural to the.
Okay, so we could. So
maybe
presumably
it's
teach us
different.
more about the cave itself then than the people.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it could have like various kinds of like gemstone kind of lining, or like probably at the very least the types of gemstones that you were talking about that would like light up if the heart beats. At the very least, we would see those. But I want to learn something more out of this, because that sort of thing we already know about. But there's some additional thing that we'd get clued into about this place. Maybe there's a I'm wondering if there's like a pattern to the way it shifts, where like it's not so completely random and arbitrary. Like, I don't know how we would necessarily use that.
Wish we had chat.
I don't know.
Chat, help us.
Yeah, what could we learn about this cave? Yeah, or it just could be a history thing.
Maybe they're flowers.
Flowers.
With healing properties. I don't know.
Could be. And that would certainly be a aspect of the nature of this place, that there actually are some nice things that can live here. Because you found crystals before that helped out. Maybe that comes from somewhere, like those spawn as a result of something that this room could clue us into. Or maybe even the source of somehow. Yeah, God, I feel more stumped than usual on just like coming up with a good opportunity that we can leverage.
Is it moist in there? Is it like?
I mean, it certainly could be, but how do you see that as an opportunity? What's good about it?
I don't really know.
Yeah. I think it could just indeed be like, why don't we go with there are those crystals on the ceiling, right, that lead down, and I think if we can follow them, we could know for certain, like, the aspect of this place that we learn about is like, yeah, we're on one of those arteries. If we follow these crystals the correct direction, which should probably be this one that goes deeper, we could follow these to the heart.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Why don't we go with that? We have a clear path to get, like, you have to keep an eye on them, and the ceiling might get higher. Maybe other places that aren't so twisty and cramped might be harder to like keep track of them, but assuming we follow the crystals, we could follow them in and get to the heart.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, now we get to make our choice. We can either take the momentum right now, or we can make you and any allies may make a move which directly leverages the opportunity. When you do, add +1 and take +1 momentum on the hit. I'd encourage that, because I think that basically delving the depths would be taking advantage of that opportunity, like following the crystals in the right direction. So you could have a +1 on that and get the momentum anyway, assuming you get a hit. And then I would also get a chance to do something with a +1. Let's see, how would I leverage the opportunity? Well, if they're indeed similar to the types of crystals before that you're able to use kind of as a reagent to heal from, or for healing purposes, maybe I can... Like, I imagine, like, they're a little bit high up. We can't just, like, reach them out of hand. But if I, like, climb up the wall just a bit, I could maybe chip off some of them. And we could have a couple to try and use for that purpose.
Okay.
So I'm going to... So, yeah, Flint is going to try... Like, he remembers when you use the crystals on him. He's like, hey, wait a minute. Gray, weren't those... Isn't that what you used? When I was fallen before... That's the same type of crystal, right?
Looks like it.
Okay,
Just be careful. They're really sharp.
Oh, yeah. Hey, can I maybe borrow your sword then? So I can just kind of knock them off, not have to use my hands?
Sure. I'll hand you my sword.
Okay. So he'll try and, I'd stand back. I don't want these falling on either of us. Maybe move Thornberry out of the way. So he's gonna, climb up the wall a little bit and just try and, like, knock some off. Have them fall into the ground. At least these aren't inside, like, a tight crevice or anything.
I do like the idea of there being a different type of crystal. Like, maybe they're different colors.
Yeah, they could.
Maybe
they might have their own purpose.
Ruby-ish? Or
Yeah.
they're very specific, again, to those tunnels.
At the very least, we might have some kind of good use out of them. But yeah, they should be ruby-ish if they're indeed like this heart. Like the red motif would be good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't think they literally are rubies, but yeah, a red crystal.
But either way, you might need the sword to get them down. But
yeah. Just play safe. Who knows?
Good.
Who knows if they are or not? We can just play it safe.
So I'm just like, these look a little bit different from the other crystals. But yeah. Just be careful. The last ones were sharp. I don't know.
Let's see. I'm glad you remember that, because I just, as a player, didn't even remember the whole sharp thing. But it was definitely a thing.
Yeah, it was because it was like a weak hit and I cut my hand.
Yeah, I remember. I remember now, but at the time, when I first mentioned it, I forgot that was part of the danger of them. Hey, there we go. And that +1 that I had from this move gave me the push to make that into a strong hit. So, a couple of things that happened. Thankfully, that means I get momentum. I'm still negative, but I'm getting better. I'm no longer -3. I'm up to -2. So there's a help. And yeah, we'll have these, whatever they are, we have a supply of these crystals. Maybe later we'll have an opportunity to see what we might be able to use them with. If nothing else, I think you could easily use them to, like, draw out their energy to fuel your magic again, since you're tapped out right now.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. But anyway, I've got them collected into a bag or something, just in case they're indeed dangerous to touch. And we're just keeping them separate. And cool. Who knows? Maybe. Oh, imagine, like, maybe there's a little bit of, like, one more, like, minor tremor, like, after I knock them off. Like, you know, if I'm attacking basically its circulatory system, it might have a bit of a reaction to it. Like, nothing that fully, like, earthquaked, but maybe there's a reason I don't just, like, methodically take a whole bunch from them. It's like, oh, you never know. Well, we'll take these and...
There's just a slight tremble.
Yeah, it's like, ooh,
tremor.
Why don't we move on?
It's like, yeah, just like, that looks like it's...
Let's
disrupting the integrity of the cavern.
Okay.
Let's not take any more.
Totally agreed.
Don't want any more collapsed ceilings.
You know, I'm with you on that. So let's delve the depths. So you have a +1 this time. Yeah, following those crystals deeper and deeper in towards the heart. Are you shitting me? Another double 10 complication. We have rolled in the last 2 sessions. We've now rolled 3 of those.
What the heck?
Yeah. Holy crap! And we are starting to run lower on time. We're not quite there yet, but we should figure out. All right, First off, what room do we find ourselves in? I'm going to roll on that table again to see, like, what sort of area is this when something bad happens, when we reveal a danger. I guess I can roll reveal a danger, and certain things will just make more sense than others. $32. Check the domain card. A denizen lives here. Okay, so maybe in all of the something else, that some enemy, something that lives here, something dangerous and alive, like those crabs. So perhaps we're doing a little too much just watching of the crystals on the ceiling, and like didn't have as much attention towards other things around, and a double 10 complication worth of something bad that we stumble into in terms of living is around here. And I want to see what kind of room is this, because that'll definitely shape like what sort of thing would live here. 68. A subterranean waterway. Okay, so like maybe this passage keeps going, and eventually there's a part where like it gets a little bit flooded. And like we got room above our heads, but like it's like maybe like hip deep or something, as we're just like wading through kind of a water that will eventually probably open up into a little bit more of like a full-on cave pool. But like this is just a part where it's like a flooded passage, and
it could be just straight up water too.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't think it all has to be acid.
Yeah.
This is just water, but there's something bad that lives in the water here. Something that we probably can't see very well. Whose goal would likely be to, well, drown us and pull us under. So let's see, what type of thing is this that's probably pretty goddamn bad at a double 10? I'm imagining like something that's probably pretty big. And I'm trying to think if there's a way we can make this almost like feel like it's a it's like it's not literally part of the cave, like it's not made of rocks or whatever, but like I'm trying to think if there's some way that it could feel like it really is like there is no it without the cave, and there's no cave without it. Like, I'm not sure what that would be right now, but and the first thoughts that are coming to mind are like some like really long eel sort of, like I'm imagining in
That's what I was thinking of.
like if in Dire Docks of Super Mario 64, there's that like huge red eel that's swimming around the level, that's what's immediately coming to mind here.
Could be an eel-like.
Yeah.
That's there just to protect the heart.
Yeah.
There might be several of those.
Exactly. Like as we get closer and closer to the heart, there's going to be more things that it keeps around because it's a protection for itself. Like, yeah, sure, you're stealing my food, but you're also making sure I don't die, so you're allowed to live here. So if it's indeed really big, because the one I'm picturing, like from Mario 64, it would be the size of like a school bus at least. So which means like it's probably not here in this exact passage where like there wouldn't be enough room for it here, but maybe once this widens out a little bit into the full-on pool,
Thornberry's gonna have a hell of a time getting through this.
Yeah, that's true. What are we doing about Thornberry here?
He's gonna have to go with us.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's just waiting for now. I mean, horses can swim a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. But yeah, so it like it widens out again to another area that's like a full-on pool that like I think it just suddenly gets very, very, very deep. Like it's stark drop off. I'm imagining I don't know if you've ever seen this video. There's a training pool in Russia, I believe. And I've seen this video of just like free divers going down into it. It's just like it just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. And it's like this column just straight down. And it's like, for anybody who has a fear of drowning like I do, it's horrifying to watch. Or terrifying, at least. Not horrifying. I'm I imagine it's that sort of just very straight drop off. Actually, yeah. What if it's that? Like, it's less that it widens out into a full room. The reason it has room is because there's just this vertical column that opens up in this like tight passage that goes really far down, and it has room to just like come up and try and pull people down.
Yeah, that might just be where it sits and waits.
Exactly. It's got its own. It's like a trapdoor spider kind of thing, where like there's an area where we're in the passage, and it's like there's a slight covering on it. That kind of like we happen to step on while moving through, and like it clearly is a little bit less steady beneath our feet. It's like kind of mucky or something, and we're like, wait, what the? That's not as much just like stone as we were expecting, and that it's been sitting there waiting for something to disturb that. Like it feels the kind of like vibration or like whatever that sends cascading down into the water. It knows like there's something up above, and it tries to just
grabbing me from underneath.
I know, right? And it's just really quickly with a speed that defies its size, just slithers up, shooting up the shaft, and just like crashes out through and has an ambush on us.
Oh, shit.
Shit indeed. Now we have no time to possibly do a full combat right now. But we're a little bit early to just be like, and that's our final shot. Now, we have an option here. We certainly could do the... we could always just do the battle move and just be like, hey, let's just figure it out in one move. If it all happens in a blur. It feels... That'd feel like a little bit cheapening this big moment. Because, like, there's no way to really... There's no real way to accommodate it being, like, especially difficult or huge. So I don't know if that really makes sense. I think that would be more for, like, if there's indeed, like, a big battle and a lot of participants and everything is just chaos and who knows. So I think we should do the full-on, like, blow-by-blow of this fight.
Yeah, too.
I think it just makes sense. Maybe we'll just end a little bit early today, because there's not enough time to get into that, and I don't want to, like, stop midway through.
Okay. That works for me, because I've had to pee for the last 20 minutes.
Totally. So, yeah. This eel thing, which I'll think of some, this will give me an opportunity to really take some time to, like, look through the book and find, like, I really want to make this feel special and, like, really dangerous, and interesting, and give us some opportunities to think about that in the week that comes.
Yeah, I want to come up with an image of this.
Oh, totally. If you could draw it, that would be amazing.
I'll find something.
Just crashes out of this at us and, like, tries to immediately... Like, who knows how this will play out, but, like, in the TV show version of this, I think the camera was overhead as we step over, like, there's, like, that mucky feeling, and we're like, what the? And then the camera switches to over both of our heads, and then the eel just, like, crashes out from between our legs and goes straight up right at the camera with its mouth open, and it just covers the whole screen in blackness, and that's, you know, executive producer Midnight Jester and Blinking Firefly. So, yeah, we're going to have to give a name to this thing and figure out, like, what's special about it. Like, how is it weird and not just, like, a big colossal eel? We'll have a whole week to think about it.
I'm already getting ideas, so yeah.
Sweet.
I'm excited about it.
So that'll be... that. Honestly, depending on how we do it, I'm okay with that taking up, like, a large portion of next time. Could just be this big moment. We'll see how it goes, though. The dice will inform it. Anyway, that's been another session of Ironsworn, and I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to always see you around. Where, as you see, there's sometimes we need a little bit of the chat help to we become stumped sometimes.
I know,
and it
where is everybody?
Can help to have some ideas thrown around. So if you want to be able to participate live, be sure to show up here Tuesday afternoon starting at 4 p.m. Pacific time. We go 4 to 6, and hope to see you around for those. Blink. You have your own stream.
I do.
Yeah. It does not involve eels, to my knowledge.
There are no eels. There are far more pleasant things on my stream, so come check it out. There is lots of lullaby music, ukulele, and singing, and fireflies.
Yeah.
Courtesy of Midnight Jester.
Do what I can. And I, for myself, am doing streaming a little bit more often, a little bit different than some of the ones I used to promote. I've been Not doing so much with the cello lately, but a lot more gaming. Obviously, there's this stream on Tuesdays. Wednesday afternoons, I've got a regular kind of exploring indie games you've never heard of stream. It's called What's That Wednesdays, happens at 2 p.m. Pacific time. And this Wednesday, we're going to be looking at a game called One Shot, where we literally only have the one chance to try and play the game. And we're going to try and save the world. Yeah, that's my understanding anyway. It's got like a meta element to it. And like, I got one chance at this. And hopefully it goes okay. I don't know a lot about it beyond that. I think it's kind of Undertale-like in the way it plays. Ish. I'm not sure, though. We're going to find out together, and we're going to discuss it, see how well it did what it said it was supposed to do, what we liked, what we didn't like, what we might change about it. It's kind of a gaming and discussion stream. And basically any day other than Tuesday, if you show up at any Monday through Thursday, if you show up at 2 p.m. Pacific time, there's going to be something going on. Whether it's Dead Cells or Blink and I have been playing some Fall Guys recently. Can probably look forward to some more of that. Sometimes some Shadows of Mordor. Lots of just playing games, hanging out, having a good time. And then Sunday evening, I plan on being back again, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Probably do some more gaming of some sort, or potentially a Twitch Sings stream. I'm not sure. Figuring it out, but there will be some big stream on Sunday night. Trying to get back into the habit of that, whether or not it's cello, just doing something in that time. Anyhow.
Something Sunday, and What's That Wednesday?
Yeah, so exactly. Something Sundays, and What's That Wednesdays? I like it. But anyway, I hope you've had a good afternoon, and I will see y'all around. Please play Ironsworn and tell us your stories. Bye, everybody.